So this video is to accompany the list exercises 2 file, and it assumes that you have done the material in the Python for Everybody course on list exercises. And what I want to do now, I'm going to proceed through a sequence of questions and answers, and I'll ask you to pause the video after I answer or after I ask each question, and then to resume the video again to look at my answer. So let's proceed. The first question is to Google for help on the randint function and use it to get and print a single random integer between 0 and 100. So pause the video now and do this yourself, and then after you're ready, come on back and look at the way I did it, okay? Okay, I Googled for Python randint, and right at the very top I find that this reference is in docs.python.org, library random, generate pseudo-random numbers, and this is for Python 3.8.2, probably a little bit beyond the version of Python that you have. So let's look in that. And I'll scroll down through this. Talks about the random module. And of course, before you can do any of this, you have to say import random. And the function that we want right here, random.randint, a comma b, says return a random integer n such that a is less than or equal to n is less than or equal to b. In other words, both the value of a and the value of b are possible, okay? It's not like a range or a typical slice where you have to exclude the ending point, because definitely the ending point is allowed. Okay, so with that in hand, let's go back and proceed to the answer. So first I have to do import random so that I have access to randint, and then I say x is random.randint 0, 100, and I print x, and I've got 93 that time. So let's go on to the next question. Use randint to create a list of 20 random integers between 0 and 100. So again, at this point, please pause the video and restart it again after you have accomplished this task. All right? Okay, here is my answer to that exercise, and it's the typical accumulation pattern that we've seen in so many places and with different types of things. We start by creating an empty list. I called it rand list. Then for I in the range of 20, that just gets me 20 different values. Randlist.append random.randint 0, 100. This ensures that we get a random integer someplace between 0 and 100. And then print the rand list, and there are the 20 different integers that I got. Okay. So, of course, pause the video. You might want to pause the video right now to read this thing carefully. Okay, good idea to pause. Okay, next question. Sort and print the list you created in the last problem. Okay, and I will ask you to pause the video and attempt to do what I've asked you to do, and then come back and start the video again. So to sort a list, we use the sort method, randlist.sort, and print randlist, And after we do that, the list is sorted. Notice it's 2, 9, 10, 12, whereas the original rand list wasn't. And notice that this worked on rand list in place. Okay, so pause the video again while you're reading that and make sure that you understand what just happened. Okay, and then we'll proceed on to the next question. So the next question, what happens if you use the sort method on the right side of an assignment statement? Okay, pause the video and come back and look at the video again after you have got your list sorted, trying to create something on the left side of the assignment statement. So here I used the sort method on the right-hand side of an assignment statement, and I tried to create something called sorted underscore list. And then I said, well, let's print sorted underscore list, and what I got is none. And the reason why I got none is that the sort method is void. It does not return anything. It simply works on the list to which it's applied in place. Again, pause the video, read this carefully, make sure you understand what was done. And then I ask, what about append? What would happen if you appended something to a list and attempted to use that on the right-hand side of an assignment statement to create a brand new list? And pause the video now. This is effectively the next question. And after you have attempted to use append on the right-hand side of an assignment statement, go ahead and look at the way I did it. So here I used append. I took rand list and I tried to append to it the number 150. And I said print, and I take that and put it into bigger. And then I said, let's print bigger. And what we got is none. Why did I get none? Again, the reason is that the append method for lists is void. However, did the append work? Well, if you look at rand list, I did get the 150 at the end. So even though this construct was invalid because, useless because it really doesn't put anything in void, it did work to actually append the number 150 to the random list. Okay, pause the video and read what I've got here. Replay it again if you want. And then after you're ready, proceed and look at the next question. So the exercise now, create a function, how many a in li, with two parameters, a and li. The parameter a is a single object of any type. The parameter li is a list. The function returns the number of times the object a is found in the list. Test your function by creating a list with 3 copies of range of 5 and verify that the number 1 occurs 3 times in this list. And as always, at this point, you need to pause the video and do the problem. And after you've done the thing yourself, restart the video and take a look at what I did. So here's the function. Def, how many a in li, parameters a and li. And the body of the function, we start by setting count equal to 0. And then we run through the list, looking at each item. And if the item is equal to the target value a, we add 1 to count. And then at the end, after we've gone through all of the items in the list, we return the count, which will be the number of times that the item A appeared in the list. And here's the test data that I asked for. I said Li is list of range of 5, and L3 is Li plus Li plus Li. And I do the test, print how many underscore A in Li. One, comma L3, and the answer is that it found it 3 times, which is what you would expect. Okay, so again, stop the video and read carefully what I've written here, and then after you have read it and you understand clearly what's going on, go ahead and proceed to the next question. Test the function again using the line, Mary had a little lamb. Count the number of times the letter A appeared in this line. Okay, again, stop the video, and after you have completed the task, go ahead and look at the way I did it. So, first thing I did, because I've been working with lists, I converted the string Mary had a little lamb into a list. And I called that L poem. And I printed L poem, and you can see here are the contents of the string as a list of characters. And then I print how many A in Li, A, comma, L poem, and I found 4. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Again, stop the video and read carefully what I did and make sure that you understand what I did. Okay? And then we'll proceed to the next question. Was it necessary to convert the string to a list in the previous exercise? That's a good question. So go ahead and write the code that you need to answer this question, and then we'll talk on the other side. Okay? Pause the video now to do this exercise yourself, and after you've done the task, go ahead and restart the video and look at what I did. Okay? So what I did, I created the string S, which is Mary had a little lamb, and then I printed how many A in Li, A, comma, S. That is, the second parameter here, S, was replaced with the argument string rather than a list. And is that valid? I mean, I've been thinking in terms of string, but the fact that I've been thinking in terms of lists, but the only place, if you go back and look in the code, the only place this second parameter is used in the code is right here for item in Li. And that construct is equally valid, will produce the same results regardless of whether this thing that was substituted for the parameter Li is a string or a list. So make sure that you understand the answer to the question, and after you're done, go ahead and I guess maybe that's the end of the presentation. So okay, so that's done, and more to come.